A lot to cover in today's show, folks. A lot of news here. The Detroit Lions signed 2 players. We're going to go over those players. What does it mean for the roster? What does it mean for them, the team going forward for next season? Lions fans are epic. We're going to talk about it, and I want to do a little bit of segment love to you guys. Ben Johnson conspiracy. Is it a legit conspiracy? We're going to talk about it. Alex Anzalone speaks. Love the guy. Hell of a captain. And we're going to get into draft grades. And I tell you what, the Lions look pretty on him. Let's go. We're going to start with the 2 players whom the Detroit Lions signed. And really important for Brad Holmes to continue to turn every rock and stone to find talent for this football team. He is magnificent and he never stops his job. The first guy whom the Detroit Lions signed is Netane Muti here out of Denver Broncos. He's 6'3", 315 pounds, 31-inch arms. He was drafted in 2020, round 6, pick 2 out of Fresno State. He's 24 years old. What does he bring to the Detroit Lions? Well, he was a Denver Bronco in 20 to 22, a Raider from 22 to 23, and a Lion right now. What do I think he's going to be for this football team? I think he is a 90-man roster, backup role, depth player. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I don't think he even makes the 53-man roster. I think he's going to be one of those guys to hold the fort down for training camp, mini camp, one of those players. Maybe he does it. Maybe he becomes something good. But in my expectations is that's not going to be the case. So grade this signing. A, B, C, D, or F. A being you think it's an amazing grade. F if you think it's butt cheeks. Let me know in the comments below. Next player whom the Detroit Lions signed, I think is more realistic to make the 53-man roster. I think it's a bigger signing, even though it's not a really that big of a signing, and that's getting Tre'Quan Smith, wide receiver out of New Orleans and Denver as well, 6'2", 210 pounds, got 33-inch arms. He was drafted in 2018 in round 3, pick 27 out of UCF, 27 years old. Again, what do I see from him? Well, let's look what he's done so far in his career. 131 receptions for 1,764 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 16 average for reception. When I look at Smith here, I see a player that can actually compete for the 53-man roster. He has a possible way to the 53-man roster as maybe a wide receiver 5 and or 6. He'll be competing with the end of the wide receiver room. He's fast. He can separate. He's an ex-wide receiver. He's familiar with this organization as a New Orleans Saint. And I think he could be used well in Detroit. I think he can. I don't know if he makes the team, but this one is one I see a legit opportunity for that to occur. And I think that's great. You want to know what else is great, folks? And that's Game Time. With killer deals, last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed, you can stop stressing and start getting hyped for the fun that you are going to have. It's real fun. It's easy to find and buy tickets at any kind of event in your area, whether sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. With their lowest prices guaranteed, it's the Game Time guaranteed. Which means, folks, that you'll always get the best price. You find tickets in the same section or less. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Right now, you can get $100 off to the big game with code VEGAS100. Put it in there, $100 off the big game. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. In the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move your phone left to right, you can see the area like a 3D live photo. Again, put in the code VEGAS100 to get $100 off to the big game. It's real easy. You go to the redeem code section, plug in VEGAS100 to get $100 off the big game. Terms due to apply. You got to create an account, all that lovely stuff. The information is going to be in the comment section and in the description of this video. If you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. And I guarantee you, you're going to be smiling on this next part. Bucky Brooks gave grades for all 32 teams from this last draft, gave the Detroit Lions the #1 grade at an A-. He says, with Detroit getting impact production from rookies on each side of the ball, Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell deserve credit. An effective draft and developed strategy has keyed the rise of a long-suffering franchise. A- grade for him. You look at the Lions draft, phenomenal draft. Jahmyr Gibbs, Pro Bowl player. Year 1, amazing. Jack Campbell, developmental linebacker, will be a Mike and a starter at some time. Very good player. Hell of a year. Sam LaPorta, Pro Bowl tight end, all-pro tight end. He's a Hall of Famer in the making. Brian Branch, hell of a cornerback / safety in round 3. Man, what a player. Then you got your backup quarterback and some depth pieces. It was a hell of a draft. And Bucky Brooks is correct. You have to be the #1 draft. But still, I don't really want to do 100% grades until 3 years into it. That's the best way to be fair because we don't know, right? So it's looking great right now, and I do agree that the Lions should have a hell of a grade. I got a question for you. Do you believe that Ben Johnson was sabotaged? Why for yes and for no? I want you to answer this now, and then after I talk to you. The Detroit Lions offense, as you know, is epic, great, top 3, feels like in everything. Ben Johnson is the mastermind of the Detroit Lions offense. He didn't get a head coaching job. Now, conspiracy theories and theories come out. Why? And I actually buy it. And one NFL general manager, anonymous GM, said this. Regarding the bizarre reports of Johnson wanted too much money, 2 theories in this conversations with executives and agents have occurred. One theory is that the executive from a team potential coaching vacancy was putting out the information to hurt Johnson's candidacy because they're hoping their own team would hire someone else. Another theory is focusing on the pay component might distract from speculation that Johnson had not interviewed well. And to me, this makes a lot of sense. Why? Because we know that teams do this stuff for players and free agency, and specifically, more importantly, the NFL draft. They will say things so they can get the player. And I have no doubt, folks, that the Commanders did that. So question again, do you believe that Ben Johnson was sabotaged? Why for yes and then for no? Blow up the comment section. Lions fans are great, and I got to do a shout out to you guys because this year has been so much fun because of you guys. You guys dressing up in ski masks because of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, all happy and ecstatic, showing your passion for the Detroit Lions. A man here, he's always dressed up like this, but you're seeing a lot of fans really get into the Lions hype. You had people dressing up as Alex Anzalone. This was awesome. I seen this moment and I loved it because Alex Anzalone is not the most known player in Detroit, but dang, he played great this year as linebacker. He played at a Pro Bowl level, and it was phenomenal. And of course, when Stafford came to town, y'all started a movement that stayed at Ford Field and moved beyond it to Red Wings games and in California and at local stadiums chanting Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. It was awesome. It was fun. As a commentator and somebody that is a big Lions fan, it was so much fun. I hope it continues next year. Everybody having a great time. It was epic. We're going to go ahead and talk about the words that Alex Anzalone spoke, and he was very vocal about that this team is going to go to the Super Bowl 2024/5, that we're going to be the team. And I know some people are going to say, don't say that. You can't do that. But I like it. I like confidence that this team has, and I like confidence in Alex Anzalone as a captain. He believes it. We were so close this year. He 100% believes the Detroit Lions have an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl. And I think we should have that mentality. I think this team should have that mentality that we can do that. We can go to a Super Bowl. We can get there. I think we need to have that. I do. So, look, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. It does help out. If you can get to I don't know, 400 likes in this video, it does help out. If you can do that, that'd be great. But I want this off season to continue with the hype and the momentum that we have had. We got free agency coming up to continue to build this roster, and this team is going to be a Super Bowl contender. So we had fun this year. It was phenomenal, but let's keep the fun up. Let's keep the motivation up, and I do think it's Super Bowl or bust. I wouldn't say that last year, but this year, I do think it's Super Bowl and bust. That's the mentality we got to be like. For the 49ers franchise, it's been Super Bowl or bust for them for the past 3 years. And I like that mentality, and they lived up to the hype. We can live up to the hype as well. We exceeded expectations this year. We exceeded what even I personally thought we would do. Got to the Final Four. Nearly got a chance to the Super Bowl. So let's take it up a notch. Let's make a Super Bowl run. Let's expect to get to a Super Bowl. Let's get a home playoff game throughout the playoffs. Let's do everything that we can do to be a team to make legit noise next year. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, to have those expectations. Are you going to have those expectations? Let me know. Turn this into a conversation. Let's have fun with this one. Folks, just like I asked, if you could smash that like button, it does push the video out there via algorithm, and that would be much appreciated from my end. Hit that notification bell. We're going to be live here on the One Pride podcast every single Thursday. That's what we do. We're still putting out content for free agency, for the draft, and all of it. With that said, folks, adios.